They can spark on the intersection on Route Right. Where they might go.
After reading the title, you're probably thinking one of two things. First, why am I comparing a mod to a commercial product? And second is, what the hell is Project Reality? PR started as a mod for Battlefield 2 way back in 2006. Originally, the mod only did stuff like removing the crosshairs, removing the ammo counter, increasing the weapon damage, and then they started adding new maps, new vehicles, new factions, new features. At this point, it's unrecognizable as a mod and more like a completely different game to Battlefield. So Nano, why is this relevant? I just want to watch squad memes. It is relevant because PR was originally made by a huge portion of the current squad devs. So you can think of squad as the spiritual successor to PR, but don't think of squad as PR2 because there might be some features in PR that will never make it to squad. Jet. So this is a comparison video. What are the main differences between PR and squad? I can sum it up in one word: content. No, that's way too depressing. Switch to something better, please.
Are you sure?
Just do it.
Nine.
Okay, I think at this point you get the idea. But there's another thing I want to talk about. After playing squad long enough, you feel that the maps get pretty stale. You're always fighting over the same two objectives. You don't see the rest of the map. This is the way PR did it in order to avoid that. Here I'm choosing this map, Assault on Grozny, and as you can see on the preview, there's a ton of different capturable objectives. So what happens is, every time I launch this map, the game will choose one set of flags and both teams will play over that set of flags. It's not infinite, there's a limit to the number of sets, but this will drastically increase the replayability of that map. Something that doesn't happen in squad at the moment. Fast forwarding a little bit, as you can see, a random set of flags was chosen from all the others I showed you. If I now restart this map, you have a completely different set of flags, and that way you keep it fresh, you don't always fight over the middle objectives, and you can actually play the rest of the map instead of just focusing on a couple of objectives. This feature is something that Squad is in desperate need of. Let's talk a little bit about the graphics. The thing about PR is that weapon models, vehicle assets, and animations are top-notch, but the maps, or at least most of the maps, still feel Battlefield 2-ish. Personally, it's not that important, or I will be playing Arma 3. It's more like the combination between gameplay, proper frame rate, you know what I'm talking about, and assets and content that really bring this game up. For example, here I'm just sitting on the truck with these guys, and even the guy in front of me, I can tell where he's looking, what he's doing. There's these idle animations. You see the character, like, as you can see, he's shaking the bag. Sometimes he's holding his rifle, he's checking his rifle, and see him turn around. You can actually shoot from the vehicle, you can aim from the vehicle, you can throw grenades, you name it, you can do it inside a vehicle. These are the details that Squad is missing right now. I'm sure many of you remember when you're sitting on the truck or a technical in Squad, everybody's super strict, nobody moves, nobody looks around, they all have that death stare in their faces, you know. And personally, after playing PR and going back to Squad, it really removes from the experience, and I hope in the future the devs can do something about it, maybe bring some of these features from PR back into Squad.
This is Squad 6, enemy scout car destroyed.
Now, I need to be careful here because audio can be a very subjective topic. So instead of focusing on what gun sounds better, I'm gonna focus on the non-subjective aspect, which is VoIP. Have you ever noticed in Squad when you are in a vehicle with another player, let's say you're the gunner, and you're telling your driver to stop because you saw something, and it takes him several seconds to even start braking? That's because there's a delay between you saying something and your teammate actually hearing you. This is a big issue because I can count several situations where I've died or teammates have died, where I see a grenade landing right between the squad, I'm yelling grenade and nobody reacts until it's too late. That's because of this delay. Now, this doesn't happen in PR, and that's because PR uses an external application called Mumble. To keep it short, Mumble allows PR to have a separate application, a separate thread just for voice. That's why you don't have this delay when you play in Project Reality. It's a hard feeling to explain, but it feels a lot more like you're having a conversation instead of just talking over the internet. I suggest you just try it by yourself and you'll instantly know what I'm talking about.
Hey, should we get out before we get blown up? No, no. I like not to die together. Holy shit, tank got hit. That could be us, see?
Oh shit, I really don't care about this.
Well, I care, don't take me with you.
Nah, no.
Fucking out.
Dude!
Dude!
Wait, whoa. Nano? With the squad memes?
Ah, fuck my life. Abort! Abort! Abort!
What the fuck? What's going on? You don't know him?
Shh! Shut up! Shh, you don't know me, okay? It's all secret.
Go check you too.
No, no.
Man, yeah, give me a second. I asked you on one of the videos if you play PR. Nano. What the? I knew that voice from.
Ignore me, ignore me. I don't exist.
Neither do I.
Like I was saying, the conversations just feel more natural. Feels like you're actually talking with the person next to you after you've played squad for a while. The moment you try using VoIP in PR is night and day. In regards to the game sounds, like I mentioned, it's very subjective, so I'm gonna leave you with the clip and you can make your own opinions. Last thing I'd like to mention in the audio department is the loading screen music. Take a listen. So Nano, from what you're describing, sounds like PR is a perfect game, right? Not quite. The thing about PR is that it's built as a mod, therefore it's restricted to that original game's code, in this case Battlefield. If you remember Battlefield 2, the limit on a vehicle was 8 people. You cannot have more than 8 people in a vehicle. Now this means transport trucks, helicopters, big ass APCs that can carry maybe 2 full squads. They can only carry 8 people, including the pilots. Okay, so you can't change the number of peoples in a vehicle, so that's the bigger issue. Not quite. It reflects in every single aspect of the game. Wanna maybe fast roll part of an helicopter? You can't. Wanna not be able to pick up an enemy kit? You can't. So because of these restrictions, a lot of PR aspects are very wonky. Let me just show you an example. So here I am playing on the French side. I don't have a pilot kit, only a rifleman kit. As I enter the vehicle, I get a blank screen saying you need a pilot kit to operate this vehicle. So I switch seats. Now I'm gonna switch back to the pilot seat and I'm dead. Since they don't have a way to restrict you from entering the pilot seat, the workaround is just simply kill the player. This is simply one example, there's many more, but the message I want to get across here is that since they are limited by the engine, there's a lot of things they cannot fix. So while Squad is built on top of Unreal Engine 4 and they can basically change every single aspect of the game, PR developers are restricted to a lot of the old engine code. Now, focusing more on the gameplay, this is why I prefer squad gameplay to PRs. Some of you may remember in BF2 there is no gun sway. If you aim down your sights doesn't move. However, it's not always precise. The way it's done is to have a random deviation on your weapon if you try to shoot immediately after aiming down sights. I'm gonna repeat the clip here so you can see it. As I go prone, on the bottom over my compass, there's these 2 dots. The more separate the dots are, the more inaccurate your gun is going to be. So you have to aim, you have to keep your aim steady, and you have to wait a few seconds to be absolutely precise. Another aspect is suppression. Suppression in PR is a lot more effective than squads at this point. The issue is it's only visual. It does not affect your accuracy. So veteran players that have learned to ignore the effects of suppression are basically immune to a barrage of lead. There's a few more things I didn't mention, like when you fire one bullet from your magazine and you reload, you lose that magazine. Or stuff like your medic dies, you pick up his kit and you revive him with his kit, which can be seen as positive or negative. One of the biggest letdowns is also constant crashes, either being client-side or server-wide, or no vehicle restrictions that need to be enforced by the server admins. Overall, it's still a great game, and if it never had existed, we won't have squad at this point. Did I mention it's free and you no longer need BF2 to play it? I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can download it. So why did I make this video? Number one reason was to reduce the crying about V10 not being released yet. Just let the devs take their time. There's plenty of games in your Steam library to play, and here's a free one, just like Squad. The second reason is that I see a bunch of idea posts of stuff that has been mentioned years ago or already exists in PR. If it exists in PR, devs are aware about it, okay? You're not the first person thinking about 50 cal sniper rifles, alright? The third reason is that I've seen a lot of comments on my videos, people that either cannot afford Squad or cannot afford the PC that can play Squad. Well, there you go. It's free, it's a lot less demanding system-wise than Squad, so give it a shot. Doesn't work, no harm done. Like I said in the beginning, I'm fully aware that I'm comparing a mod with more than 10 years of content to Squad that has only been in production for 3 years or so. My goal was also to show what Squad can become given enough time. I'm not saying it's gonna have every single feature PR has, but let's say stuff like dragging and fast ropes have already been confirmed for Squad that are basically impossible to do in PR. Alright? So hang in there. V10 is coming soon. I think this year. Maybe we can do it. And meanwhile, play some PR.